As dawn broke, the damage from the night before was plain to see. There were 207 patients in Wexford General Hospital when a fire broke out shortly before 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, sparking panic as the flames moved quickly through the building. There was a plan initially to evacuate some wards and the intensive care unit, but a major emergency was declared at the hospital yesterday evening, at which point a decision was taken to evacuate all of the patients and staff in the building. The Minister for Health, Stephen Donnelly, visited the site this morning and praised the work of emergency services, who spent hours trying to quell the flames.
And other hospitals have been taking in patients through the night, adapting. The nursing homes in the area have been freeing up capacity to take in patients as well. And so the first thing I want to do is just acknowledge and thank everyone. I've taken a look through the areas that have been affected. They do involve significant areas of the hospital. Probably over half the inpatient beds are in the area that was affected. Some diagnostics like endoscopy, women's health services, maternity services.
Patients have been transferred to hospitals in counties Kilkenny, Cork and Dublin, and no injuries have been reported. Emergency services say the fire is now under control, but there is significant water and smoke damage to the building. They're now tasked with finding the answers to one question: how did this happen? Hannah Murphy, Virgin Media News.
Well, with the latest from the scene, let's go live now to our reporter Paul Quinn, who's there for us. Paul, have all the patients been evacuated at this stage?
So, Aisling, as Hannah mentioned in her report there, we know that there were 207 patients in the hospital when this fire broke out early yesterday afternoon. Now, this lunchtime, 29 patients remain here at the hospital, and they are in a safe part of the hospital, and the clinical teams are trying to determine whether it is safe to keep them here. And at this stage, it looks like those 29 patients will remain in place here. 60 other patients of the 207 were able to be discharged home, so they went home after this fire broke out, while the remaining patients were all transferred, as you heard, to other hospitals right across the region. Now, all maternity services have been transferred to Waterford, while paediatrics are being looked after by the Dublin hospitals and Children Health Ireland. Now, a technical team is on the ground here at Wexford General Hospital this lunchtime. That's made up of members of the Gardaí, HSE engineers, forensic specialists and fire crews as well, and they'll be trying to assess the damage that's been caused, how much damage, and I suppose that will help determine exactly how long this hospital will remain almost fully closed, when things might be able to get back up and running. Now, one line of inquiry that they will be looking at is that perhaps this fire was started due to a faulty machine in the plant room where that fire broke out. That's one line of inquiry, but of course it's very early days in this investigation, and that's something that they will be looking into. Now, we've been speaking to the clinical director of the hospital today. He says depending on that technical assessment, they'll be hoping to get some services back up and running from early next week.
In terms of elective procedures, the outpatient department is fully operational as of this coming Monday. We've had to cancel today and tomorrow because we just needed to assess the situation. Our endoscopy suite in Ely is fully operational, and all services in Ely, including cardiac rehab services, are fully operational in Ely. We are not quite sure whether scheduled care will commence in the next day or two or not. That will depend on the status of maternity services, because if we are to move our maternity services into where our scheduled care area is, it is likely that scheduled care will be suspended for a little while.
Now, the hospital has put in place a special helpline number that should be on your screen now, which is for anyone who looking for information of their loved one and perhaps where they were transferred to, and to get an update on that. All outpatient and elective procedures remain cancelled for the remainder of this week.